Araho Mina. Translating Japanese names into English isn't always easy. Some are dead simple because the name is in English. This game straddles both as it has an English subtitle, even in the Japanese release, which became the game's name on the TurboGrafx 16. And a Japanese title is a little awkward to literally translate, so I settled on Makyou to mean Demon Lair. But Demon World is also a fair name, as is Demon Realm. You get the idea. In fact, I may make a little video on this topic of translation, but literally the Japanese name means the legend of the demon region. That's just odd in English, so I took a little flourish to call this game The Legend of the Demon Lair. Released in 1988 on the PC Engine, this is an early action game that was also a launch game for the system's Western TurboGrafx 16 release, though not the packing title. Something I'm striving to do with these reviews is not just recount the mechanics, but try to summarise the experience of playing each game and answer why you might want to play it beyond just being good or whatever. Like, why should you play this next? Honestly, if you've never played the Legendary Axe, you're not missing out on a legendary game in my opinion, but if you do want a straight up action game that plays well for the PC Engine, this one fits the bill very well. What I appreciate about this game is its relative straightforwardness and compact play length, well, except for Stage 5's maze-like structure that lengthens the playtime. Overall, playing this game is going to be a fun time, and relatively speaking, it's on a somewhat more affordable spectrum of PC Engine games, at least in Japan. What I think this game fulfills is the Friday evening game. What's that? It's the kind of game you sit down and play on a Friday, work is done for the week, you've done some chores, your feet are up and you've cracked open a nice cold drink and you want something to play, and that is this game. It's switch off and enjoy fun. Makyou Densetsu is a single-player 5-stage game where the 6th and final one is the final boss. As you may have guessed, in this game you wield a legendary axe to rescue your boyfriend. Actually, I made that bit up. Of course it's your girlfriend that you're out to rescue. Surely if these demons had any sense, they wouldn't wait for the hero to turn up. They ought to just get on with what they're going to do rather than waiting for the hero. But I guess that's not much of a game if halfway through the first stage you get news of your partner's demise and the game ends. Or you get to the end only to find out having a little brandy to wash down their dinner. Your axe can be wielded at will, and it can be powered up with collectibles in 4 steps. Once you receive at least one axe power up, the strike power increases, but the axe has to be charged to do so. Charging happens automatically after each strike, and striking before the power gauge is full is still fine, but it won't be a full power hit. In addition, there are pickups to speed up your charging rate overall, an extra life that can be found, and health refills are dotted about. You get 3 lives and 3 continues to complete this game, which with some practice should be sufficient, but be warned, this game isn't necessarily easy. I wouldn't say it's hard either, but it puts up a mostly fair challenge. What is quite noticeable about this game is the control. Everything feels smooth, the jump is good and it's all responsive. As much as I loved the original Akumajo Dracula or Castlevania, Simon Belmont always moved a little stiffly. You won't have any of that here. In the 2 years between these releases, playability in the best games of the year has gone up a lot. Honestly, as cliched as it is to say it, Super Mario Bros. Showed people how a character should control, and there is a sense that the lesson was learned for this game. Later stages are broken up into sub-stages, and sometimes you'll encounter a bigger or tougher enemy partway through the stage. Stages are generally capped off with a boss, but stage 4 starts with a boss before entering the dungeon. The enemy variety is good, and whilst there is not back on taking a strike from an enemy, it's not as bad as Ninja Ryukenden or Ninja Gaiden as you may know it, as there is no respawning. Visually, this is a good-looking game for the era on the home console. Visibly, the most notable visual blemish is the lack of parallax, but being as this was so early on in the system's life, such techniques had yet to be fully realised in the system. But having a souped-up Famicom game look is no bad thing. And anyway, that was Hudson Soft's, the designers of the PC Engine chipset's, intention, creating a Famicom? Well, something that was similar enough to evoke the Famicom feel, like an enhanced Famicom. So it's little wonder that this comes across like that so early on in the system's library. The player sprite also gives off a real 8-bit Konami vibe, going for a more proportioned human look. Playing this game will require good timing, such as taking on the first boss. The bears will swipe at you, but as you strike them, move under the leaping bear and take a swipe at the next bear and repeat. Likewise, the rolling boulders boss requires good timing to take a swipe and then make a leap for the rope before clambering down again as the boulder passes to have another go. This is the exact opposite to Tri-Rush Deppy, which I reviewed a few reviews ago now, which the last boss had descended into flinging lots of crap at you to create a difficulty barrier, rather than making the timing and overall skill level the objective. All of the enemies have optimal takedown strategies. The Rockmen, as I call them, are best taken out with a crouching attack, or a swipe and then retreat approach, and the Sliding Warriors are also best taken out with a crouch attack. Looking at the Japanese level, this is another very import-friendly game. The only Japanese you'll encounter is on the title screen, which has the Japanese game title, subtitled The Legendary Axe. Otherwise, the Japanese in this game is rated as none. In terms of how I rate this game as 3 stars out of 5 or good on my rating scheme. Some of you may raise an eyebrow to that, as I scored Tri-Rush Deppy as good as well, and the Legendary Axe is often cited as one of the system's best. But I guess this speaks to the kind of games that I like to play, and also because, more importantly, on the Rubbish Heap, we rate compared to all systems within a genre, not just this is a good game for such and such system. Tri-Rush Deppy's strength was the replayability, to discover new things with its bonus rooms, secret rooms, and characters that you could free to affect the ending. Whereas in the Legendary Axe, the strength is the overall gameplay, enemy variety and boss encounters are a bit more satisfying. It also has some replayability in that this is the kind of game you'll often pull down to replay, but the experience won't change that much from play to play. Some of you may ask what similar types of games to Legendary Axe I would rate higher on the PC Engine. I would say that Adventure Island, or Dragon's Curse as it was on TurboGrafx 16, is a great 4 stars out of 5 game, and then a 5-star all-time great is Akumajo Dracula X Chino Rondo, or Rondo of Blood as you may know it. What I appreciate in the Legendary Axe is that it doesn't outstay its welcome and slots squarely into the category of a game to enjoy after a week's hard work. You can switch it on, hack away, and maybe even complete it in one sitting. Stage 5 can be a bit of a slog, but make a memory as you play. It's solid stuff. If you disagree, why not let me know down in the comments below? But in summary, there's always a place in my rubbish heap for the Legendary Axe. I play it quite frequently and enjoy it with a cola and a bag of potato chips on a Friday night, and I think that you would too. As always, like, subscribe and all of that shit, and also check out this rad Rubbish Heap merch, available worldwide on Redbubble and Amazon. See the links below for how to purchase. I've been Saki Endo, and this has been a Rubbish Heap. じゃあね
果てしないジャングルに挑む爽快なバトルアクションゲーム PC エンジン用ソフト「魔境伝説」新発売。